Namaskar. Welcome to day 18 of 100 Yoga Practices Days of Satvik Yogi Path. Today it is March 31st. And March 31st, also today, we talk about Yoga Sutra 1.18. Also today is Mahavir Jayanti. It so feels meaningful that today's sutra is about virāma pratyaya, the natural pause of the mind. Because Mahavir lived this pause through gentleness, truth, restraint, and non grasping. Mahavir's teachings of ahiṁsā, satya, asteya, brahmacarya, and aparigraha are the same foundations we call Yama in Ashtanga Yoga. And all of them begin with one thing: a quiet mind that pauses before action. So let's recite Yoga Sutra 1.18. विराम प्रत्यय अभ्यास पूर्व संस्कार शेषोन्य. Once again, विराम प्रत्यय अभ्यास पूर्व संस्कार शेषो अन्य. The deeper samadhi arises when mental activity naturally comes to rest, having only subtle impressions. And if we have to explain, as Maharshi Patanjali said, there are two kinds of steadiness. One is through clarity, which we discussed yesterday, and that was day 17 with Yoga Sutra 1.17. Through vitark, which is reasoning, vichar, reflections or understanding, anand, the bliss, and asmita. Asmita, the I-ness, the quiet of the mind and heart in feeling wholesome, the I-ness. And the second one, which is today, day 18, is through quiet. So one is through clarity and the other is through quiet. A natural pause in the mind, viram pratyaya. And this pause is not forced. It is not suppression, neither it is blankness. It is the mind resting. The pause is the mind resting because it has nothing left to chase. Nothing left to chase. And what remains is the sanskar shesh. Only subtle impressions, not active thoughts, subtle impressions. Mahavir taught the same inner quiet through yam, ahiṁsā, pause before harming, satya, pause before speaking, asteya, pause before taking, brahmacarya, pause before impulse, aparigraha, pause before grasping, These are not rules, they are states of inner stillness. And when the mind pauses, we don't react, we don't rush, we don't grasp, we don't harm. When the mind pauses. And this is the heart of Yoga Sutra 1.18, or the 18th Yoga Sutra of Maharshi Patanjali's Yoga Sutra from chapter 1 of Samadhi Pad. And this is also the heart of Mahavir's path. This is the heart of Yam. And if I have to cite an analogy, okay, so think of the moment after a long cry. I've had that, I've I've found myself in that situation when I lost my mom about 2 years ago. For many days just kept crying, 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 crying. And even though some rituals and the observances were going on the side, and the pause when, after longer days of cry, through rituals and the observances, I do remember that it was not that I was exhausted, or it was just a pause. It was just some sort of quiet. I could think of that moment, not the emotion itself, not the intensity, but the quiet right after the quiet. A soft pause, a gentle emptiness, a moment when the mind is not thinking anything. Has it ever happened to you? And that is viram pratyaya, the natural pause that appears when the mind stops pushing. The natural pause. And why this matters today? In today's world, we live with noise, stimulation, pressure, constant mental activity. We rarely experience a pause. Would you agree with me? Steadiness, Maharishi Patanjali says that steadiness is not only built through effort, but it is built through rest. Willie Tolentino 6902. Thank you for joining. Thank you so much for joining. So, the pause between thoughts, it is not emptiness, it is healing. It is healing. So, what are we going to practice today? We will try to go a deeper into understanding viram pratyaya, recognizing the natural pause in the mind. Honor Mahavir through Yam, pausing before harm, pausing before speech, pausing before impulse, grasping. We will practice some classical movements that will help soften our mental activity. Slow, simple movements that reduce inner noise. We'll do it together. We will have stillness practices that reveal quiet through breath, awareness, and gentle observation. So let's begin. Let me take off my glass. So we start with Griva Sanchalan. Griva Sanchalan, which is the gentle neck rolls. Back and spine straight with a smile on your face. Take a look at a point at the eye level. Back and spine straight. Roll your shoulder if you have to. And chin slightly tucked in. And now let's begin. And slowly and to the other side. Griva Sanchalanam. And now Skanda Sanchalan. Skand is your shoulder and Sanchalan is the movement. Smooth rolls of our movement of the shoulder. And we hopefully the inner pressure will be released. So let's practice Skand Sanchalan. Roll your shoulders. We do this 4 times. And on the opposite side. Excellent. Now we move on to our Marjari Bitilasan, or popularly known as the cat cow in the Western world. So let's do this. For this, you need to have your back and spine straight, and again, chin slightly tucked in, back and spine straight, and you bring in, and look up and release. One more time. Bring it and release. So I'm seated on this chair and I'm trying to. Um, this chair position is looks like it is just right for the camera position for today. Now, last but not the least, Vakra Sanchalanam. Vakra Sanchalanam is the spinal twist, and we twist with ease. We will just stay with our breath and let our navel guide the movement. So let us get into Vakra Sanchalan and slowly onto the other side. Very good. And one more time. And to the other side. And return. In particularly the spinal twist, I would like to mention that anytime you do spinal twist, try and listen to your body, because you have to be aware of if you are pushing too hard, because you're not pushing too hard. Let the navel guide your movement, but listen to your body if there is a chance of getting um, sprain or having any muscle pulled. So just listen to your body and follow your breath. This is these are the gentle movements which now we will be going into practicing stillness. And every time I say this, stillness practices are one of my favorite practices and that I like to share with you all. So the first one is sthir sukham dhyanam. Sthir is the stable, to be at the stable position. Sukham is the bliss, the comfort, and dhyanam is to meditate. So let's do this. Sit comfortably and let the breath settle. With your back and spine straight, chin slightly tucked in, just let your breath settle. Just observe your breath. Let it settle. One last, and back to your natural rhythm. We move on to the second, which is antar maun, to keep silence from within. Practicing to keep silence from within. And to do that, you're practicing to keep silence within. Observe the gap between the breath. Just observe. You are observing the gap between the breaths. And one last time. And return to your regular breath cycle. And the last one, Nabhi Dharana. And we do that by placing one hand lightly onto your navel, onto your navel. At this point of time, observe your breath first. And now you breathe in with a count. I would count to 3 and breathe out by equalizing the count. Breathe in, 2, 3. Breathe out, 2, 3. Breathe in, 2, 3. Breathe out, 2, 3. Breathe in, 2, 3. Breathe out, 2, 3. And come back to your natural rhythm. Before we close, here is your day 18 challenge. Today, notice one natural pause in your day. After a breath, watch for the natural pause. After your breath, after a sentence, or after a movement. That is your day 18 challenge. And when you observe that gap, that pause, you would stay in that pause for 1 extra second. Yes, stay in that pause 1 extra second. Pause before you write anything in the comment. Pause. Before you say anything, the pause. Before your next move, pause. Before the next breath, pause. Today we explored asampragyat. Today we explored in Yoga Sutra 1.18 or the 18th Yoga Sutra, the asampragyat samadhi, the steadiness that arise from the rest, the steadiness that arise from the rest, the pause, the gap. And today on Mahavir Jayanti, we honored that pause that Mahavir lived and taught. Thank you for practicing with me today. Until tomorrow, stay open, stay warm, and stay honest to your story. Namaskar.